Hey guys, welcome to Split. I was out the other day and a friend asked me, should I get the iPhone 13 Pro? He already had an iPhone 12 Pro. And what I thought would be a simple answer to a simple question ultimately wasn't. I kept thinking, does he just want the latest device just because? Are there enough features to warrant an upgrade? Is the design that fundamentally different to drive you to the next one? So I figured, why not just make a video to help anybody else who has these questions answer these questions whenever they need to. Let's get it. So let's start with design, right? If you look at the back of the iPhone, it'll be hard to tell off the bat that this is the iPhone 13 Pro. Except you're really taking a hard look, you realize that the camera spaces take a little bit more, they're slightly bigger. That's because of the changes that are on the inside. We'll talk about that later. And if you see this color, this is the blue one, which is unique to the iPhone 13 Pro on 13. You're not gonna find this on the 12 Pro. So that's an easy tell. But other than that, from a distance, it does look like a 12 Pro. Buttons on the side moved up a little bit, but that's that on the outer body. Looking at the screen though, you'd have to have the phone right beside you to tell that that notch is about 20% smaller than the 12 Pro. And that's the fundamental difference on the screen. Other than that, in terms of aesthetics design, it's pretty much the same, okay? Keep that in mind. Moving on, when you hold it in your hand, it does feel a bit chunkier, maybe possibly just a bit weightier, right? And that's because it is about 204 grams versus the 180 something grams of the 12 Pro. And that's where you feel that difference. IP68 water resistance is still here. And again, I wouldn't just go around testing that because I want to. This is a $1,000 device. I want to know that's there, that's great. If I do fall into the ocean or swimming pool by mistake, I know my phone is safe, but I'm not just gonna go throw $1,000 in the water because I can. Out of the box, this thing comes with iOS 15, but you could upgrade your 12 Pro to 15, so that isn't much of a discrepancy there. What is different is the A15 Bionic chip, which is about 50% faster, so Apple claims, in terms of performance, to the A14 Bionic chip that is present on the 12 Pro. But in real life situations, I've found that most of the tasks performed on the 13 Pro and the 12 Pro, such as exporting a video in Adobe, for example, gave off very similar performances. Moving along very quickly to the cameras. So there are some big changes here, especially for video enthusiasts. They both still have a 3-camera system, ultra-wide, wide, and telephoto lenses at 12 megapixel resolution. However, the iPhone 13 telephoto lens has been boosted to a 3x optical zoom, whereas the 12 Pro has a 2x optical zoom. Wide-angle lens was updated from an f1.6 aperture to an f1.5 aperture for better, bokeh effect. That blurry effect you get behind when you take a picture, that is a whole lot better now. Ultra wide also updated from f2.4 to f1.8, which improves the speed and reduces the amount of grain you get in medium to low light photos. And it also enables macro mode on the iPhone 13 Pro, which is long overdue in my opinion. Macro mode is really when you get really up close and personal on something really small to get detailed shots. Think about it like a magnifying glass that works in your camera, if you will. That's been long overdue in my opinion, but that works pretty well on the iPhone 13 Pro. Other perks include photographic styles, which you can apply to the shot before you take it. Think about it as adding a filter to a picture you've already taken, but in this case, you're doing it in reverse. You can apply all the settings to the front-facing camera as well, which is pretty cool.
Everything Ethan has mentioned isn't enough reason for me to upgrade my trusty but clearly shattered iPhone 12 Pro Max. Except cinematic mode. I am truly amazed at how well Apple made portrait mode in video work. I tested this at my sister's wedding and it blew my mind at how well it was able to anticipate and switch focus between multiple subjects all on its own. Mind you, it's not that perfect, but no smartphone comes this close to being this good, and I mean none. To top it off, you have the option to record in ProRes, a professional video format that gives you the ability to manipulate your footage in post. All this from a phone. Another reason to upgrade is the battery life. Notice Ethan mentioned earlier that the iPhone 13 Pro is heavier and denser. That's because Apple had to make room for a bigger battery. During my testing, I always had at least 30% left after a whole day of streaming music, moderate browsing, and unusual hours of Candy Crush. So, imagine this for a moment. Everything I have mentioned, plus 120Hz variable refresh rate OLED screen, and the most efficient and powerful processor in a smartphone, makes the iPhone 13 Pro the best. Hang on.
So this is undoubtedly the best iPhone Apple has made to date. If that's what you want, if that's your game, that you don't care how much of a difference there is, then definitely buy this phone, right? If you're an Apple enthusiast, just do your thing. If you already own a 12 Pro, I think, and you're not a camera enthusiast, I think it's a bit hard to justify buying a 13 Pro. But if you find a great deal with your carrier, if you're one of those people, or you're gonna maybe get, just pay 20% off the price and just future-proof that phone, that's also a good deal in my opinion. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Is it worth the upgrade? Is it worth paying that extra buck for it? And so on and so forth. Thank you for watching, you guys. I will see you in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care.